In the third period, was Musa even allowed to stay up late enough to watch this? How does that make you feel knowing he interviewed with us and could have landed in Detroit?
I'm 100% sure.
Welcome back to Your Detroit Now. We got a great show ahead of us, talking everything Lions, Pistons, Red Wings. UofM and MSU got a big game this Friday, right, Musa?
Of course.
Musa, are you ready for the show?
I'm always ready.
I love it. Let's talk about what just happened to us before we talk about the Lions. We just interviewed Eddie Murray, so we're coming off our Eddie Murray interview. A special thanks to Eddie Murray again for coming on. We had a great time with him. Isn't that right, Musa?
You're 100% right. He's a very nice guy.
Very nice guy. We got to ask him some great questions. And please, if you're watching this, pause this, go check that video out, and come right back to this. All right, Musa, let's talk about what's happened this week for the Detroit Lions. Why don't you start us off?
Detroit Lions, the tallest man in the NFL, Dan Skipper, has announced his retirement.
Dan Skipper is a guy who has been a core part of this Lions offense the last, 3-4 years. Is that fair to say? 2022. So Dan Skipper's been a core part of this offensive line. He's been a practice squad guy, a roster guy. He's been back and forth, but special thanks to Dan Skipper, all you've done. Man, this is going to be tough because this O-line has been rough this year, and losing a veteran O-lineman is always tough.
Yeah, I 100% agree. This man was a core part of this offense, even though he wasn't starting. He was he was always available. He was there when we needed him.
That's absolutely right. Let's jump from the offensive side of the ball to the defensive side of the ball. I'm getting reports that Alex Anzalone is leaving. Are you hearing this?
I am not hearing this. I did not hear this.
We've seen reports, nothing official yet, but I'm seeing reports that Alex Anzalone is leaving the Detroit Lions this offseason. We've seen him active on Twitter saying he's not sure. But, things are getting loud in the Alex Anzalone space. Nothing official yet, but that is the biggest question mark of this defense. What is your opinion on losing Alex Anzalone? Is he worth maybe sacrificing a player or two, maybe in the secondary or on the defensive line, to keep his contract intact?
We got to keep Alex Anzalone. He is a great linebacker, the second best linebacker on this team.
Second best behind Jack Campbell.
And losing him will not make this defense the same.
Right. We saw this defense take a step backwards this year, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Well,
so how much?
Due to injuries, of course.
Of course, but that is still a step backwards. And losing Anzalone, how much worse does that make it?
That makes it a lot worse.
That's absolutely right. So hopefully we can keep Anzalone. Who would you give up? If it meant you had to give up maybe Kirby Joseph to keep Anzalone, would you do it?
No, I would not give up Kirby Joseph, but I want to keep Anzalone.
What if it meant you had to give up Al-Qadim Muhammad? I think you make that deal. I think Al-Qadim Muhammad, I don't think it's taking up that much cap space, but if it meant, that 1-for-1, I think I'd rather take Anzalone there.
I don't know. I'm going to have to sleep on that one.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. But Musa, let's jump to the final topic of Detroit Lions, Mike McDaniel. He did not get a head coaching job. He interviewed for the Buffalo job, but Mike McDaniel officially, as of now, the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. How does that make you feel knowing he interviewed with us and could have landed in Detroit?
This just shows we're just not using our money wisely. We're going out. We could have had Mike McDaniel. We saw him in Detroit airport. We saw him in Detroit, and then out of nowhere we signed Drew Petzing.
Drew Petzing from the Arizona Cardinals, right? Let's take a look at how the Miami Dolphins offense has done this season compared to the Arizona Cardinals offense. Each person that we're talking about is responsible for their team's offense. So let's talk about how the Miami Dolphins did, and let's talk about how the Arizona Cardinals did. When it comes to points, the Miami Dolphins were 25th. The Arizona Cardinals were 23rd. Cardinals slightly better there. Yards, Miami Dolphins were 26th best in the league. Arizona Cardinals were 19th best in the league. When it comes to the average yards per play, Miami Dolphins 14th best in the league. The Arizona Cardinals 22nd best in the league. We can keep going, but let me highlight some other notable stats. When it comes to rushing average, Miami Dolphins were 4th best in the league, averaging 4.7. When it comes to the Arizona Cardinals, rushing average, their number was 16th best in the league at 4.7. Let's talk about passing yards. Arizona Cardinals, 5th best in the league, 4,354. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins, 25th best in the league, 3,322. So I'm looking at both of these teams. I'm seeing a lot of red numbers. None of that is exciting to me, but the Cardinals, on paper, had a better offense than the Dolphins. So how does that make you feel knowing we chose the on paper better guy for 2025?
Now that you said that, I thought this guy was I thought when we signed this guy, I thought this guy was going to be John Moore 2.0. But then when you saw these stats, I feel like maybe he could turn this franchise around from 9-8 to like something a lot better. Maybe, possibly.
I mean, we have a winning record, 4th year in a row. But I don't know. I'm not sold. I'm not convinced. They said the culture wasn't there when it came to Mike McDaniel. He said he wasn't a fit. So I don't know. On paper, the Arizona Cardinals technically had a better offense, but I'm not sold. Maybe you can be, but I'm not.
You're just gonna have to wait and see.
We're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Isn't that right?
That's right. I mean, that's the only thing we have to do.
That's absolutely right. Let's talk about Pistons. Musa, how are the Pistons doing?
Pistons are first in the division, 33-11, and they are really good. They're on a great pace.
For sure, 33 wins. OKC, you keep bringing them up, Musa. We're only 4 games back.
Yeah, we keep saying. I keep thinking that, but I think the last time we were close to OKC was, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 1 or 2 games behind.
Yeah, that's true, but then OKC went on a dominant run. In the last 10 games, the Pistons are 8-2, 5.5 games up on the next closest, which is the Boston Celtics. Musa, we played the Boston Celtics earlier this week, didn't we?
Didn't we? Yeah, we did, and we actually won that game. Very close game, 104-103.
That's absolutely right. That was a critical game. Crucial that we win that for the sole reason that they are the next closest to us. Behind us is the Boston Celtics. Let's talk about the team stats, and then we will go to the game leaders. When it comes to field goals, Pistons were 43%, 33 for 88. Three-pointers, they were 31%. That's 11 for 35. On the free throws, they were 17 for 23, 74%. Turnovers, only 8. That's pretty exciting to see that. Rebounds, 41% led, 52. That is critical when you're in a game with an opponent like the Boston Celtics, and the largest lead the Pistons got were 12 points. This is a back and forth game. Looking at the game flow, both teams were up at critical points. The highest win probability that the Celtics had was in the first quarter, 64%.
Yeah, and Emilio, currently the Pistons against the Celtics this season is
3-1. So that's the game on 10-26, the game on 11-26, the game on 12-15, and obviously the game that was happening this week, 1-19. So, I mean, to be this dominant against a team as good as the Boston Celtics, that's pretty exciting, isn't it?
very exciting.
So, Musa, tell us about the game leaders of that game.
Of course, Tobias Harris, 25 points, 11 for 20 on field goal. None of them were free throw. Jalen Duren's 9 rebounds, 6 defensive, 3 offensive. Cade Cunningham, 14 assists.
0 turnovers.
0 turnovers in 40 minutes.
So, Musa, what does this game against the Boston Celtics mean as a Pistons fan? I mean, how deep of a run can the Pistons go on in the playoffs?
I mean, we're very on track to going the first seed in the Eastern Division.
That's absolutely right, but I mean, I have no doubt these guys can make a serious run.
I have no doubt too. Amelia, how about we head over to the New Orleans Pelicans?
100%. The Pistons won this game in dominant fashion again, 112-104. Pistons favored to lead the entire game. That never dropped below 75%.
That is incredible.
That is incredible, but look, New Orleans Pelicans only have 10 wins, so they're a pretty poor team, I would have to say. Let's talk about the team stats, and Musa, you can head it over to the game leaders. Field goal, 44%. Three-pointer, 38%. Free throw, 79%. 20 turnovers, horrible. 47 rebounds, and percent led, 99% of the time. The Pistons got the first bucket, and they never trailed after that. That is dominant fashion.
Dominant fashion, and the largest seed was 13.
That's right, Musa. Game leaders, why don't you head us over there?
Of course. Jalen Duren, 20 points, 7 for 11 on field goal, 6 for 6 on free throw. Jalen Duren again, 15 rebounds, 10 defensive, and 5 offensive. Denise Jenkins, 4 assists, 5 turnovers in 27 minutes.
Yeah, and Musa, we're going to see him again in this next game, but I think now's a great time to call him out. Jalen Duren, with his dominant performance against the Celtics, with his dominant performance against the Pelicans, dominant performance against the Rockets, which unfortunately we did lose that game. Jalen Duren's going to win my Player of the Week.
That is great.
Musa, let's head over to the loss against the Rockets, 111-104. Jalen Duren, points leader, 18 points, 7 for 13 on the field goal, 4 for 4 on the free throws. Asar Thompson, 8 rebounds, 4 and 4 offensive and defensive. And Cade Cunningham, 8 assists, 6 turnovers in 38 minutes. That 6 turnovers is horrible. Musa, why don't you talk about the team stats?
Okay. Of course, field goal percentage, 48%, 40 for 84. 3-point, 7 for 32. That's 22% on the 3-point. That is horrible. We got to clean that up.
For sure.
Free throw, 7 for 24. That's 71%. 17 turnovers, 35 rebounds. Percent led was 14, and largest lead was 4.
That's horrible. Looking at a team like the Rockets are currently second in the Southwest Division. The largest lead being 4 tells me that the Pistons really were not prepared for this game.
Yeah, they tell me. I don't think the Pistons were prepared either. I mean, we're obviously better than them. I don't know how we let that happen.
So with that loss, the Rockets actually tie it up 1-1. The Pistons won the game October 24th. The Rockets obviously just won this most recent game. You know, it's an interesting fashion. Both games, the Rockets only scored 111 points. You know, if you got to beat these guys, it sounds like you got to have to score 112.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Let's head over to the most recent game that happened yesterday against the Sacramento Kings. 116-139. The Pistons got the win.
Musa, the Sacramento Kings only have 12 wins. We destroyed them. Let's talk about these team stats. 55% from the field goal. That's 50 for 91. 52% on the three-pointer. That's 16 for 31. 82% on the free throw. 23 for 28, 19 turnovers. Again, these turnovers, so these high turnover games is what hurts us. 43 rebounds. Led was 79, and the largest lead the Pistons got was 25 points. That was obviously the final score there. A 25-point win is something to celebrate.
It's very exciting to celebrate. At one point in this game, the Kings were actually up by 7 points, and that was late in the first quarter. That gave the Kings a chance. It gave them a 38% chance of winning the game. That's not obviously a 100% win, but that's still comeback story.
Yeah, absolutely. Pistons are officially 2-0 against the Kings, and we'll see them later in the season. But man, this is exciting. Pistons are on a very nice run right now.
Let's head over to the game leaders. Cade Cunningham, 29 points, 13 for 22 on field goal, and 0 for 1 on free throw. Isaiah Stewart, 8 rebounds, 7 defensive, 1 offensive. And Cade Cunningham, 11 assists, 5 turnovers in 30 minutes. Emilio, my player of the week. No doubt, potential MVP Cade Cunningham is my player of the week.
Okay. Musa, let's talk about what the Pistons are doing right. Can we do that for a second?
100%.
Producer Chris was pulling me these stats, and I was very impressed. Pistons are averaging most steals in the league, 10.5. Pistons are averaging the most blocks in the league per game. That's 6.6. Pistons on defense are only allowing the opponent to get 22 assists. That is best in the league. On defense, the Pistons are allowing the opponent 37.5% field goal made. That is first best in the league. Defense, the Pistons are allowing 85 field goals attempted. That is also first best in the league. The difference between our field goal attempted and their field goal attempted is +4. So on the average game, we have attempted 89.6 field goals. That range is +4.6. That is the first best in the league. The Pistons defense is assisting the offense in a way that can allow the Pistons to make a deep run, and they're playing great basketball because of it.
Yeah, Pistons are on a great run. And I thought they were better on offense than on defense before these stats, but they're actually better on defense than on offense.
Isn't that crazy?
That is very crazy. Hey, you know what they say, defense wins championships.
Defense wins championships is absolutely right. Musa, let's head over to NHL Red Wings.
We're heading over to Red Wings, where the last game we need to talk about was against the Toronto Maple Leafs, where we won 2-1.
2-1. That was an exciting game, wasn't it? Overtime goal.
Like I said, very exciting game.
Let's talk about the team stats. 41 shots for Detroit. That is talking about for a while. Getting up more shots. 15 hits, 4 penalty minutes. I mean, that is something to celebrate, isn't it?
It was very, very good and deserved to be celebrated.
2% on the faceoff, almost 50. Musa, who were the stars of the game?
Stars of the game were Dylan Larkin with 1 goal and 1 assist, and John Gibson, 30 saves, and with a .968 save rate.
That's absolutely right. Dylan Larkin scoring the overtime goal to give the Red Wings a huge 2 points that we desperately need looking at the standings. Tampa Bay was right behind us, and we officially take back first place. That is what we needed.
That is very good. Our record against the Maple Leafs are 4-0 on 10-11, 10-13, 12-28, and of course 1-21. 4-0 against the Maple Leafs.
So that is so exciting. Musa, let's talk about the Minnesota Wild game. That's a tough loss, 3-4.
Yeah, very, very tough. We don't have any stars of the game.
No stars of the game. Let's talk about the team stats. Shots, 33. Hits, 15. 8 penalty minutes. However, are you seeing this number here, Musa, on the face-off percentage? 66% face-off percentage. We won 2/3 of all the face-offs.
Wow.
So pretty high-scoring game. 7 goals total. Lucas Raymond scored again. And James Van Riemsky scored the last goal of the game. So, I mean, pretty exciting game for the Red Wings, but man, the defense was not there. We let in 4 goals. They shot 39 times. So, you know, this was a tough game. On the road. No excuses, though.
No excuses, but at least the next game we have to destroy the Jets 5-1.
5-1, man, but where were these goals the last game? Red Wings put up 31 shots in this game, 22 hits, and 2 penalty minutes. 55% on the faceoff. Musa, who were the stars of the game?
Stars of the game were JT Compier with 2 goals with no assists, and of course John Gibson, 26 saves with a .963 save rate.
John Gibson, honorable player of the week for sure, right? Can we say that?
Player of the week.
I mean, he's playing great. No one I'd rather have in goal but him. But, man, this is exciting. This is exciting. 5 goals in a game.
Yeah, that is very, very exciting. 5 goals in a game. I don't know where that was against the Wild or against the Bruins.
That's right. Musa, in the third period, we scored 4 goals.
Wow, that is insane to hear, insane to watch.
My question was, though, and I think everyone at home was watching this game started at 7 p.m. In the third period, was Musa even allowed to stay up late enough to watch this?
Okay.
Is that true?
No, that's not my bedtime, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, you said it. You called it that, actually. Musa, Red Wings, next game, they play the Kings. Anything specific you'd want to see?
Keep up with the penalty minutes. That's really great.
100%. That's 100% right. I was thinking the exact same thing. Smart hockey. Let's head over to college hoops. This is the segment everyone has been waiting for, right?
For the Wolverines, of course.
Not so sure about that, Musa. Musa, since we talked college hoops last, the Michigan State Spartans have played Oregon and Maryland. Both resulted in a win for the Spartans. Let's talk about the Oregon game, and then we'll head over to Maryland. 68-52. Our game leader, Carson Cooper, 19 points. Cohen Carr, 8 rebounds. Jeremy Fierce Jr., 5 assists. Let's talk about the team stats. 57% on the field goal, 35% on the three-pointer, 56% free throw. Horrible. 12 turnovers, that's a lot. 31 rebounds, 79% led, and 18 points was the largest lead of the game. Looking at the win probability, there was only a moment where the Spartans went below 50%, and the Oregon Ducks stayed below 60%. This was a back-and-forth game until about 11 minutes left in the second period, and then the Spartans dominated.
I'm going to say dominated, but all right. Oregon's not really a basketball school. It's a football school.
For sure it's a football school, but we got to win against a Big Ten opponent. That's all that matters. Let's head over to the Maryland Turnpins. 48-91. Musa, can I say dominated now? Now can I say the word dominate?
You guys face the second worst team in the Big Ten, only behind Penn State, but the second worst team. You should not deserve to stay dominated. You do not deserve to stay dominated.
Musa, field goals 61%, three-pointers 47%, free throws 74%, turnovers 8. That's what I'm talking about. 35 rebounds, percent led 99%. The Spartans scored the first bucket and never lost the lead. And the largest lead was 43 points. Musa, are you kidding me? Michigan State is tied for second in the Big Ten. Nebraska standing in solo first place.
But we're ahead of Nebraska, so
In the global rankings is correct. Michigan State finally broke the top 10. They are officially number 7 in the country. That looks like our head-to-head matchup is going to be 2 top 10 programs going against each other, unless somehow the Wolverines can lose to another unranked opponent, which would not be the first time that's happened, right?
no, don't talk to me about that game. But we're heading over to where everyone came to see college hoops for the Michigan Wolverines.
I'm not so sure about that.
I'm 100% sure. The last time we talked was against Oregon, and the next game we played was Indiana, the national champions of college football. And Indiana is a basketball school.
That's right. Technically, they're a football school now.
Well, now they're a football school. They're mostly a basketball, but they were known to be a basketball school. And this is so exciting to see, taking down the national championships in college football, even though this is a basketball school. That is very exciting to see, Emilio.
That's right. Tell us about the game, Musa.
We won that game 86-72. Let's head over to some of the game leaders. Elliot Cowdew, 19 points, 5 for 11 on field goal and 7 for 10 on free throw. Reese Johnson Jr., 8 rebounds, 3 defensive, 5 offensive. And Yaxel Lenenberg, 4 assists with 0 turnovers in 30 minutes. Wow. Let's head over to some of the team stats. Field goal percentage, 51%, 27 for 53. 3-point percentage, 40, 10 for 25. Free throw percentage, 67%, 22 for 33. Turnovers, 13, 41 rebounds, 98% led, and largest lead was 25. Emilio, that is so exciting to see.
For sure.
In the next game we played, I was so happy that we won this game. Even though we couldn't beat them in football, at least we could beat them in basketball. The Michigan Wolverines, number 3, Michigan Wolverines took down the Ohio State Buckeyes 74-62. Yaxel Lenenberg, 18 points, 7 for 13 on field goal, 3 for 7 on free throw. Yaxel Lenenberg, 9 rebounds, 3 defensive, 6 offensive. And Elliot Cowdew, 8 assists, 4 turnovers, 25 minutes. Field goal percentage, let's go over to the team stats. Field goal percentage, 27 for 52, that's 52%. 3-point percentage, 22%, that's 5 for 23, that's garbage. Free throw percentage, 60%, that's 15 for 25. 14 turnovers, 36 rebounds, 61% led, and largest lead was 15. You don't want to say anything?
I mean, there's nothing to say, Musa. You guys beat Ohio State. They're not a good program. Same thing you told me about Maryland.
Well, at least we beat a team that was not the worst in the Big Ten.
Didn't you guys already... Wait, no, you haven't played Maryland yet. That's true. Musa, what's the next game you guys play?
Next game is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Where we versed the Nebraska Cornhuskers, but Milo, we have an 80.7% chance of winning.
That is shocking. And to be honest with you, Musa, when it comes to the Big Ten, if you guys win this game, you guys will be in standalone first place with that tiebreaker. So you'll have the same record, but you'll also have that head-to-head matchup. So if the Wolverines can win this, you guys will be number 1 in the Big Ten. It most likely will not change your overall standing. Sitting at 3rd, you'll probably finish in 3rd, assuming the 2 teams ahead of you stay where they are. But yeah, this would be pretty big for the Wolverines to come out with a win there.
100%. And against a top 5 team, that, like you said, that's going to be very good for us. And then next game, we're all circling our calendars for January 30th on Fox against the Michigan State Spartans, where we still have a better chance of winning, 53.1.
That's true, Musa, but again, 8 o'clock game. Musa is only going to be able to watch the first half. Tell us about... Musa, let's talk about the game. Spartans versus the Wolverines. What do the Wolverines have to do to win this game?
We got to get Tom Izzo frustrated. Just got to get points early in the game. We got to play aggressive. Not get a lot of penalties aggressive, but like still play great man defense. Still play good defense. And yeah, nothing else. You keep typing, bro. They can hear it on the call.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Musa, you saw Tom Izzo got super frustrated against Kurt Tang. He told him you couldn't even guard his mom, who is a 90-plus-year-old in a nursing home. So Izzo will get frustrated pretty easily, and that's not that hard. Let me say what the Spartans have to do to beat the Wolverines. They have to win the pace battle. Michigan plays fast, 76.7 possessions per game, while MSU is much slower at 69 possessions per game. If MSU controls the tempo, it drags Michigan out of its comfort zone. That'd be huge for the Spartans. They have to build the whole game around the glass. Extra possessions is how the Spartans get the upset. MSU has a real edge here. Offensive rebounds is 37.9, while Michigan's offensive rebounds are only 24.4. Defensive rebounds, Spartans average 81.3. This is considered elite across college hoops.
I'm looking at our team stats on the offense, and Michigan has way better stats on the offense for team stats.
On the offense, but Musa, we've been talking about this all season. Michigan has a much better offense compared to the Spartans, but it's the Spartans' defense that keeps them in these games that maybe the Wolverines just can't hang. I guess we'll find out on Friday, won't we?
I still think our offense is better than your defense. I know our offense is better than your defense.
You think so? We'll find out.
We shall see.
The head-to-heads, man, they look convincing either way. No matter who you look at, they look convincing.
Yeah, they do look convincing, but let's not forget about our bet. Emilio has to wear a UofM shirt again, but I will have to wear a MSU shirt if Michigan wins this entire series.
That's right. So they play each other twice. Once now, obviously this Friday, and then once right before we go into March Madness, and we will wear those on the show after this last game.
And if they tie, we both have to wear each other's rivals.
That's absolutely right, Musa. Can I get a go green?
No. Can I get a go blue?
No.
We're heading over to Michigan and MSU football world, where the Michigan actually had a pretty great offseason in the transfer portal and the football commits. He signed 2 5-stars, but they're great 5-stars. Carter Meadows, edge rusher from Washington, D.C., 6'6", 225 pounds. Number 1 at his position, number 1 in the state of Washington, D.C. Number 6 in the nation.
Wow.
And our second, wow, you guys wish you had that.
Probably, yeah.
And our second 5-star is Savion Hyder, running back from Monroe, Virginia, 5'11", 200 pounds. Number 1 at his position, number 2 in the state, and number 18 in the nation.
That is impressive, Musa. Sounds like the Wolverines had a pretty good offseason.
Pretty great offseason. Then we have, let's just go to the guys I think will do good. Titan Davis, defensive tackle, number 17 at his position, but number 2 in the state of St. Louis, Montana. Travis Johnson, wide receiver, 6'3". That's tough for a wide receiver. He's a 4-star. Same with Titan Davis. Jermani Vinston, 6'2", 4-star cornerback. Tommy Carr, correct me if I'm wrong, but is he the younger brother of CJ Carr from Notre Dame?
He might just be. I'm not too sure about that.
Because they're both from Saline, Michigan.
So maybe, chances are, probably.
And those are guys that I think are my couple of favorites. And then it goes to 3 stars. And then hard commits, we had Ernest Nunley, cornerback. And then let's get to the transfers. And we all like transfers, do we, Emilio?
That's right. That is right.
Our first transfer is Nathaniel Sterling from, what do you think, what college you might think he might be from?
I have no idea, Most. He could be from anywhere.
He could be from anywhere, but it's not a D1, it's not a school. It's not even a FFB. It is North Dakota State.
Wow. Is there anybody that lives in North Dakota?
That plays football? You're asking the wrong guy.
I guess so. Tell us more about the transfer portal.
Then we got Aisa Mao, 4-star, from your school.
MSU?
MSU, linebacker from MSU. So then we got Celeste Mao, cornerback from Utah. Smith Snowden, I think this guy will be special at Michigan. Smith Snowden, 4-star cornerback from Utah. Colin Hurley, quarterback from LSU. Max Alford, linebacker from Yale. Chris Bracey, safety from Memphis. I think he'll be great. Houston Kahahana Torres, inside offensive lineman from Nebraska. Jonah Leah, defensive lineman from Utah. And we got J.J. Buchanan, tight end from Utah. Or this guy was actually a tight end and wide receiver in Utah. This guy is great. I'm excited to see what he can do. Then we got Jamie French, former 4-star from Texas. He's a wide receiver. I think he'll do good too. Taylor Tatum, 4-star running back from Oklahoma. Since Justice Haynes left to go to Georgia Tech, that made me sad. I think this guy he won't be like a Justice Haynes. I think Jordan Marshall's the new Justice Haynes, but this guy is the new Jordan Marshall. Then we got, personally, my favorite, John Henry Daly, former 4-star, 6'4", from Utah. This guy is a beast at edge rusher. This guy's a beast. Michigan's overall rank was number 12 in the nation. The composite rank was also number 12, and the transfer rank was 16. Emilio, I'm excited to see what next season has I'm excited for what Kyle Whittingham has for us next season.
100%. It seems like Kyle Whittingham had a pretty awesome offseason. Let's see what Pat Fitzgerald and the rest of the Spartans were able to do this offseason. When it comes to commits, these are kids coming out of high school. Alan Campbell, offensive tackle, 4-star. Comes to his position, he's number 34 in the country and 5th best in the state. Colin comes from Arizona. He's going to be our new offensive tackle, 4-star. When I look at the rest of these, I'm seeing a lot of 3-stars, a lot of offensive tackles, a few wide receivers, but again, all 3 stars. When it comes to hard commits, Samson Gash, he's a 4-star. He's 50th best at his position, which is wide receiver, and he's the 5th best in the state. When it comes to commits, I'm looking at a lot of 3-stars, and those are probably the most notable too. When it comes to transfers, I am seeing exclusively 3-stars. The one that makes me the most curious is the Spartans picked up a quarterback in the transfer portal.
I'm seeing that Cam Francher's 3-star from UCF.
That's right, Cam Francher, 3-star from UCF. I am very curious to see what we do with Alessio Milivojevic. Cam is the 100th best quarterback in the nation. I don't know. I'm curious to know what they're going to do when it comes to Alessio Milivojevic. Aiden Childs is obviously out, so it'll be very interesting to see what we do in the spring game, and it will be extremely interesting to see how we start the season out next year.
You also got one of our guys.
Musa, we also took one of your guys. A little taste of your own medicine. Frederick Moore. Welcome to the Spartans. Welcome to the team, Frederick.
He was redshirted this year. I don't know why you're clapping. He didn't play a single snap.
Welcome to the team, Frederick. You're gonna love it here in East Lansing.
Nah, you're gonna miss Ann Arbor. The Michigan's offseason was great. The only thing that made me mad is that we didn't pick up a good linebacker. Our best linebacker on the team that includes the transfer portal is Troy Bowles. Todd Bowles' son, by the way. He didn't play a lot. He's pretty good, but he's one of our linebackers from last season. I'm pretty mad we didn't get a good linebacker in the transfer portal.
That's right. All right, Musa, let's hit the phones. First question comes from Josh in Clarkston. Josh wants to know, what does your Detroit Now think of Matthew Stafford losing to the Seahawks in the NFC Championship? Musa, I'll let you start.
I actually kind of wanted Matthew Stafford to.
Yeah, I definitely wanted Matthew Stafford to win.
It's no luck when you have Devontae Adams on the team because he is 0 for 5 in the NFC Championship.
That is actually a crazy stat.
0 for 5. It's pretty bad luck. I mean, I kind of feel bad for the guy, but you lost the game. Just gotta.
A lot of errors. We're seeing dropped punts. We're seeing, chirping on the sideline, which results in a first down. Both teams had a lot of errors. It was ugly, and, I was surprised Stafford couldn't pull it off in the end. I was very curious late in the game why Sean McVay did not throw the challenge flag on that Cooper Kupp catch.
Yeah, same. I don't know why he threw the challenge flag. I actually think the drop punt is the main result why the Rams lost this game. I actually think
for
that
sure.
was the reason.
Oh, for sure. It gave the Seahawks an instant touchdown, but that challenge is the most concerning to me because he lost his timeout the next play anyways. So if he was concerned about losing the timeout, you should have not called the timeout the next play of the game. But because you called the timeout, it makes me think you weren't concerned about your challenge, and maybe you thought a better opportunity to use the challenge flag would come up. But I don't know, you're in the NFC Championship, 3 minutes left in the game, you're probably not going to get a better opportunity to use your challenge flag than that. So I don't know what he was doing. I was very curious about that.
I was also curious, but the AFC Championship was kind of boring.
It was. We're seeing a lot of slips. The whole thing was weird. They're falling on the ground. It was just bad weather, and they're running a lot. I don't know. I was not a fan of that game.
I don't know why Sean Payton didn't kick the field goal when he had to make it 10.
And how many field goals did they miss?
2. They missed 2 field goals.
And then how many extra points?
1. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think that's right. So, I mean, this is crazy. That's right there, a 7-point swing.
That is very, very brutal. Jarrett Stidham, he did all he could. He could have made himself a starter next season, but couldn't do it to get it done.
That's right.
And the Patriots' weakness is actually a backup quarterback, if you know what I mean.
That's true. Nick Foles, right?
Nick Foles, 2018 Super Bowl.
Philly.
All
right, Musa, with all that being said, that's all we have for today. Please feel free to use the Gmail in the description. That's how Josh and other guests in the past have been able to ask questions into the show. Please check us out on Instagram, yourdetroitnow. And if you haven't already, please check out the Eddie Murray interview with both Musa and myself.
Yeah, please go watch that video. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. Come watch our next video. And this is Your Detroit Now.